Hello and welcome to Mindful Mondays. If you're trying now or you've ever really tried to develop a habit of a daily devotional time, a period of time set aside to be quiet with God, just for prayer and a little bit of Bible study or devotional time, chances are you've had some level of difficulty with making that habit stick. Most of us have had some level. First, there's the problem of, just establishing time and then not having your busy schedule or your oversleeping or your needy kids or whatever sweep in and just try to steal that time away. And that's a problem you mostly have to solve by just dogged stubbornness. You just have to keep trying and insisting and pushing until it becomes really a legitimate and reliable space on your schedule. But then the next obstacle is the problem of how to get your mind and your spirit kind of, collected up in a way that you can actually pray and actually study and actually listen for God and not get bored or discouraged along the way. Now, there are a lot of answers and ideas for things that speak to this, but today I'm going to hit on one that's just pretty small and pretty simple, but I found to be pretty helpful along my journey, and that is having a prayer basket. Now, although some people in other cultures and other religions tend to have a space in their home set aside for prayer, maybe even entire room. They have like a little prayer altar or whatever. It's not really such a common thing here in the United States for those of us who follow Christ. Most of us don't have an altar in our home where we go to focus on God. Having a prayer basket can be a way to collect up a few items that you want to use consistently during your set-aside time with God. It's a really highly practical idea. It saves you a lot of time. You don't have to run around the house figuring out where did I lay my Bible down last, or where your highlighter marker went, that sort of thing. You don't have to rummage through your living room looking for that devotional book that you really like, but you can't remember, when exactly was the last time you saw it. And you don't lose your train of thought because your only pen runs out of ink and then you spend the next 20 minutes ransacking the house for another pen. Or, maybe that's only my house. The stuff you generally need for your prayer time is kept in your prayer basket, all in one spot. So you can just grab the basket and take it to whatever your best quiet spot is that you can find in the moment, and voila, you are good to go. So full disclosure here, these days I'm not using a prayer basket, so what I'm sharing is historical in my case, and I can't drag it out to show it to you piece by piece. Using a prayer basket was extremely helpful to me in establishing a quiet time habit. I had one for a number of years, and once my habit got firmly established, then I didn't need it so much to help me get there, and my basket got retired to another purpose. But I will tell you what I put in my prayer basket when I was using one regularly. So first of all, I put an inexpensive Bible that could just be the prayer basket Bible. So I didn't have to worry about where my regular Bible was. I could just have one in there waiting for me. And honestly, I'm going to recommend that, an actual real paper Bible to keep in your basket rather than the free Bible app on your phone. I know we can find them. I have them. And that's just simply because if you're already struggling with focus, what you don't need to bring to your quiet time with God is a device that gives you notifications about all the stuff that happens in the world around you while you're trying to be still. So really, I recommend that you can find them pretty inexpensively. Just put one in the basket, and that can be your devotional time Bible. Secondly, I recommend a notebook. That's what I had in there for writing stuff down. It could be just a plain old school spiral notebook. That's what I tended to do. I'd buy them when the school supplies came out, and you could buy them for like 42 cents a piece, and I'd just buy 20 of them in a box and keep them in my basement. Or, if you're all into stuff that has a pretty cover and little sayings in it, and, it's made out of delicate paper, you can do that. Whatever works for you. This is super highly customizable. If you're wondering why would I need to write stuff down, some stuff that you might want to write down during your devotional time could include like quotes that really touch you from what you read, scriptures that speak to you and your own personal reactions to them, maybe marking dates that you heard something from God and what it was, questions that you have for God that you'd like to have answered. And also, there's just the simple practicality that when your brain gets distracted because you suddenly remember some bill you need to pay, some chore you need to do, or whatever, you can just stop, you tear a page out of your notebook, you write yourself a note about that, and lay it aside, and now your brain knows it's been duly recorded, and so it can let go of that item and, stay focused in the moment, stay in the devotional, and not charge off to the next thing and totally derail your quiet time. So it's a great thing to have. I also recommend some sort of devotional or inspirational book. This kind of reading, it's a great way to get you kick-started when you might otherwise just kind of bang around aimlessly and, go, I don't know, I couldn't even get started. A few pens. You don't want just one pen in there. That way if one runs dry, you can just grab the next one. Again, maybe pens are easy to find in your house. They are never easy to find in my house. I also kept a couple of highlighters in there for the same reason. I liked them in different colors, so if I wanted the colors to mean something, they were identifiable. For me, I put things in there to keep me from being distracted by little physical annoyances, and this will depend on how sensitive and distractible you are. But for me, I put in like a little box of tissues so that if I cried or if my nose got drippy or whatever, it's right there. I don't have to go all through the house trying to figure out where is there still a box that has Kleenexes left in it, and then eventually you give up and you get toilet paper from the bathroom, but all of that took you several minutes and then you got derailed. So I like the box of tissues in the prayer basket. I also had a few mints or some hard candy because sometimes I get a little tickle in my throat that just will not quit. And if you just have them right there, you just pop it in, you suck on them, and you get on with your devotional. Again, not distracted. I kept in there some kind of lip moisturizer, lip balm, some kind of a little thing of hand moisturizer, because if my hands get itchy or my lips feel dry, all that can distract me from really staying in the moment. So since I am very easily derailed by these things, I had all that stuff just right there in my basket, so my body couldn't fight with me about whether we're going to stay in devotional or not. And then I also kept in there any little physical items that I'm holding on to help me remember to pray for a specific person, like maybe their photo, maybe some little item they gave me or made for me, something that reminds me of them. I think I've addressed that recently in another one of our episodes, those kind of things. I also kept in there a candle and either some matches or a lighter so I can add some nice atmosphere while I'm having my devotional, and I don't have to rip through 2 closets and 3 junk drawers to figure out where is the lighter. So it just makes it very possible. And for you, I didn't do this, but if adding art to your prayer time helps you, the basket is a great place to throw in, your colored pencils or your Sharpie markers, whatever, little things. If drawing art for the Lord during a devotional time speaks to your heart and works for you, put the supplies in there. Be ready to do it. Your prayer basket can be as simple and basic or as fancy and frou-frou-y as you like. It's a really highly customizable concept. You could even, I am a pretty simple in my tastes. I don't need things to be very fancy. I could use, a canvas tote or a duffel bag if I would. A duffel bag perhaps, if you wanted. Whatever. I had a pretty basket with a pretty handle when I did mine, but if you just want a plastic tote from Target, that works. Your stuff goes in there, and it fits your style, fits your budget. If practicality and budget are at the top of your list, you can do it from bargain bins for very little cost. If pretty things speak to you, then you can make yours in a way that excites you and calls to you. If you've got an ample budget, you can go gangbusters on this and make it ultra special. And the good thing is there's no right or wrong way to build your prayer basket. It's your tool to help with your devotional time and your spiritual journey. Now, is a basket going to, in and of itself, turn you into a super spiritual, serene, wise, godly, and amazing person? No. but maybe it will help you beat down the distractions and find a way to establish that daily time with God that so many people talk about and so few people actually accomplish. And if it does that, it's working in your favor, right? Give it a try.